Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Trump prosecutor Alvin Bragg, one of his friends, just got, well, arrested for one of the most horrific crimes you're ever going to hear about. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So I have to use different language here. Certain platforms do not like certain words, and I have to be very careful with this very sensitive topic. But there's a guy who appeared on the Joe Rogan show who is a criminal justice reformer. He wants to reform the criminal justice system because he spent near 50 years in prison for a couple of violent robberies. He thought it was just much too much. Got to reform it. Got to let these guys out. And such a reformer he is that, according to the Daily Mail, he's actually friends with Alvin Bragg. There are pictures of him and Alvin Bragg together. And so you got to reform it for this guy because, I mean, he's learned his lesson. And I'm going to show you the video where he talks about learning his lesson. Unfortunately, this week, Alvin Bragg's friend, well, they found somebody's head in his freezer after finding bits and pieces of their body all over the place. So he was arrested for ending the life, that's how I have to say it, ending the life of someone. And this is a buddy of Alvin Bragg's. So I want you to watch him on the Joe Rogan Experience, and then I want you to tell me what you think about Alvin Bragg and the friends he keeps. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
Their advantage to get rid of you?
Because I was the type of person who would say, "You doing that for what reason? Nah, you can't do that. The rule says that you can't do this, you can't do this. This is what the rules say." And
The rules of the prison or the rules of the
the
streets?
gang. The rules of the
gang.
streets. Yeah. So I was a rule guy, and they just, it was to their advantage to get me out of the way. So when I decided to take a step back, they were like, yes. And it was to my advantage as well. And this was in 2005.
So there was no resistance?
None. And at that time, this is where a lot of the what they call set tripping began. The organization began to implode on itself.
The gang organization.
The gang organization. There was a lot of infighting, sets against sets, and I was just always against that. And it was time for me to go, and I didn't care whatever the consequences was. I was fortunate that there weren't any consequences, but I didn't care what the consequences was. I just walked away.
And then that begins your journey.
This begins my journey. I got into school. I got my GED. From there, I got involved in correspondence courses. I started interacting with guys who were teaching ART, aggression replacement training, and I started to begin to understand how these concepts work, what positive visualization is, deep breathing, how to remove yourself, conflict resolution. All of these ideas of change began to take place with me. Substance abuse. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I was smoking like 30 cigarettes a day. I'm literally having chest pains from smoking cigarettes. And I realized that I wanted to live. And the only way that I was going to be able to live and walk out of prison was to remove myself from these substances.